we've got stuff, some articles and shit to talk about, and yeah, that and weird things that have been going on. Just general, just shit basically, and yeah, that. Right, so that's that done. A wee bit late because OBS decided to go fucked up on me, and I had to redo a couple of things. But I'm here, and everyone should be working. And you should hear. I've not checked yet. Can everyone? Can you? Yeah.
You want me to go see if the
Yeah.
YouTube?
There we go. No, you're speaking. That's fine. I just needed to check if everyone could hear you before I fucked it up. It's fine because the settings have stayed the same. They are. Look, OBS just totally messed with my head, and now I'm fucking confused because nothing was working to make shit off. Right, it's fine. Right, we'll get straight into the thing. So what have we got? Oh, so the Joker. Okay, I've got a couple.
I thought we'd do this one. This article came out before the Joker came out, but you know,
yeah,
because the Joker, I thought we'd do this.
I did read this one. I have two things on the Joker as well, but it's not this one.
Oh, okay. All right, so we'll do this one then.
Yeah, I guess.
Right. So let's see. Sorry, I gotta click over onto it.
It's
all right,
fine.
so Todd Phillips left comedy to make Joker because woke culture ruined the genre. What?
Like, yeah, because it is. Like, have you seen the Netflix comedy shit that they keep pushing, and it's fucking awful? And then the new ones.
No, the only time I watched a Netflix comedy thing is when Dave Chappelle did his stand-up.
Okay, right.
And that was hilarious.
Okay, there's another guy that did stand-up too that got blasted as well. He's funny. He goes on about this woke culture shit as well. And he just rips a piss. So there's two comedies on Netflix that were actually decent, but before they had them, they had shitty ones, and it's not even funny. Like they try to say it's not racist, but like it pretty much is, because if you've got an Indian chick going on about white people, that's kind of racist. And she's going, oh, white men do this and white men do that. It's like, but I'm not racist, she's saying. And it's like, but you are. Because you've just said that white...
I have not seen that one.
But, like, that one's not on Netflix.
You can
Where did I see that?
You can make fun. You can, like, it could... I don't know, some racist jokes or whatever are super funny, but, like, you can make it not funny, too, so maybe she just was not funny about it.
No, she was going on about, like woke shit, if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean? And none of it was funny. And then,
so it was like woke white guy.
Right. No, she was an Indian. The person saying, who was it? Oh, it was Gundam's video about comedy and why woke comedy was fucking shite. And he plays this chick, and it's like, holy shit. And he's like, yeah, I know it's really bad. I had to watch the whole thing.
You should send me that, like, video. Then send me that video. Like,
I will do. Right. So if you get on with this,
yeah,
I can go and look for that video, and then I'll put the article up in a minute because I'm looking for that video.
Okay. Yeah. How did the guy who made the Hangover movies turn in such a dark twist on a superhero genre? Phillips blames the current culture. Todd Phillips is hardly the first name most audiences would associate with the current run of the dark, gritty comic book movies, best known for comedy hits and a few misses like the Hangover trilogy, Road Trip, Old School, and the 2004 remake of Starsky and Hutch. Phillips had long trafficked in laughs with just the right amount of edgy appeal. He's hardly the kind of guy to take on a violent origin story of one of contemporary entertainment's most notorious villains. And
It's
yet, with his Joaquin Phoenix starring Joker, he's done just that. Why?
um
In a new interview with Vanity Fair, ostensibly centered around Star Phoenix, the filmmaker opined about why he chose the movie from broad comedies to something as dark as Joker. Turns out he just couldn't hang with the current culture.
good.
Go try to be funny nowadays with this woke culture, Phillips told BF. With the woke culture did not like his dark movie.
Of course it doesn't. Of course it doesn't.
But the controversy, I think, helped the Joker quite a bit, because now everybody wanted to go see it. Don't see it. People are going to shoot up the theaters. Don't see it.
Yeah.
And now everyone's like, well, I'm going to go see it.
Yeah, it's DC's biggest grossing movie.
Yeah, I noticed with the post that you sent
Right.
like how much it's doing really well. It's gonna make bank.
13.3 million already in its first day. Holy shit.
Yeah. That's a lot. That is a lot. It's gonna make bank, and the news people friggin' begging for somebody to shoot it up.
Yeah, it's so weird that's the take that I'm getting as well. It's like they want something to happen. It's so weird.
So that they can cover it.
Right.
That's how it feels. I agree. That's how it was really coming. Like the first bit when they were like, oh, the violence and stuff like that, it didn't really feel like it. But then as it got closer to this past week or two of the movie releasing, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It was really feeling like that. They were just on the edge of their seats waiting for something to happen.
Yeah.
Almost begging for it.
And it's really weird. It's like...
Well, because their stuff made no sense anyways. Because they were like, oh, somebody shot up a Batman movie already.
Right.
So they might shoot up this movie. And it's it's not Batman movies, it's one crazy guy.
Well, no, wait, wasn't there, what Batman movie was it? Was it not The Dark Knight?
It was The Dark Knight.
So there has been another, this is the thing, right? There has been another Batman movie since then that was the end of the Dark Knight trilogy.
Yeah,
right?
They released another Batman movie.
And no one was going, oh, someone's going to... Yeah, it's so fucking weird. And now that they've got this Joker one...
it's because they just did not like it with the critics and everything.
Yep.
They didn't like how it was... We were supposed to be sympathetic to a villain's backstory.
Right, I think that's their problem. They're like, you can't be sympathetic to a psychopath. And it's like, but you can, though. But
I'm not even sure I'm not even sure Joker... it would be a psychopath.
There's definitely... I don't know about a psychopath, because he's a weird character. Like, sometimes he comes across as being a psychopath, and other times he's not. He's like, I don't know.
There's also different Jokers. Let me see what he's classified as. I'm sure it'll say, okay, Joker...
I mean, most of the time he's just there for chaos and to fuck shit up, just because he can. Like, that's what I get from it.
So, I'm just going to look it up, what mental illness. So, the vast majority of depictions of the Joker is not experiencing such symptoms. Rather, the Joker has shown symptoms of psychopathy. Oh, I guess so.
Yeah, he does. He does definitely have... He definitely is. But... And
well, I don't know if that's how he's portrayed. If he has a sympathetic backstory, then I'm gonna say that he can't be psychopathy.
No, but most psychopaths
because and then in his original thing, he went crazy because he fell into a vat of chemicals.
No, he was already a bad guy though.
Either.
He was
because
already a bad guy.
Psychopaths are born.
No, they're not. They're made.
No, they're born. That's sociopath. You're
Um,
thinking sociopath.
yeah, but
The psychopath and sociopaths are different.
they're similar. One kills
They
and
have,
one
they have
doesn't.
similar stuff, but psychopaths are born psychopaths, which some of the Jokers definitely probably could be. Okay.
Well,
But I don't know, to have a sympathetic backstory
well, most of them
would
do, don't they? Most of them
I
do.
guess you could still feel bad for a psychopathic kid if he had like a really abusive
But
childhood.
most of them do, don't they?
Um
Is that not like the
some
standard?
of them, no, not most psychopaths do not. It's just that psychopaths make up a low percent of the population, but a very high percent of the prison.
Right.
And even if they have a really nice childhood, they could still do terrible things, and
Right.
commit crimes and
So
stuff.
what's the ones I'm thinking? Am I thinking of sociopaths then? Because there's
No,
definitely
sociopaths
one.
also do terrible things and stuff. Psychopaths are just like born, and then psychopaths also tend to be serial killers and stuff a lot of the time.
There's one. There's one that sometimes more or like usually they have like some type of healthy trauma in childhood, and that
Okay,
can
that's
turn them into
that's sociopath.
right.
That's
So
sociopath. If they have like a trauma that happened in childhood and where they like,
right,
it's just lacking the emotion of empathy and stuff, and that could cause that.
right. But that's what
Maybe like,
psychopath has as well. See,
yeah, psychopaths doesn't have the ability to feel empathy. But I didn't get that from the Joker trailer. I got that he
no.
was an empathetic person at first, or like he could
Yeah, he
experience
breaks.
empathy. At least that's what I got from the trailer. I don't know when I see the movie.
Well, I think
Do you know what I mean?
well, I think it's trying to portray Joker as a normal guy down on his luck, and then he just fucking goes schizo because he breaks.
Yeah,
So goes, fuck it.
that's what it came off to me. Like he was,
Right, so
he was kind of a normal, maybe a withdrawn person,
yeah,
maybe a little bit,
depressed.
maybe.
Because well, a lot of comedy.
They seem like kind of like he would be like more of a withdrawn kind of guy, maybe a bit shyer.
Yeah,
And
no,
then
it
people
sounds
just
like,
kept walking all over and stomping on him and stuff because
yeah,
Gotham
yeah,
has
of
those
course.
kind of people in it.
Yeah, it's full of them. That's why it needs Batman, right? So
Yeah.
So I don't know how it's going to go, but it's going to show you Joker turning into the Joker. So it'll be interesting.
At least this version of Joker, and it will be interesting. I want to see what they do with the origin story. I'm very curious because Joker's like one of those types of people that you really could change his origin story and play around with it as long as you end up at the same place. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, he's definitely like by the end of him when he starts facing Batman and stuff, he's definitely a psycho. Like, there's no doubt he's off the rails. So, and he was in the Arkham Asylum and stuff. So he's definitely like insane in some level. But then you've also got the Harley Quinn thing. That's like, if he didn't have empathy, why would he do that? Like, why would he have Harley Quinn? I know
he abuses and uses her. I think even in one some of the ones, like he left her like in a place to die with his past Harley Quinns that he had before, or past women that he had before. He like dragged her to a dungeon thing. He like even in the Batman cartoons, you could tell, even though it was obviously more kids, so it didn't have.
If you seen the Killing Joke,
it was
the cartoon, the Killing Joke cartoon. Ouch! That's not a cartoon for kids. That's fucked up.
That's true. Yeah. Well, I want to say, like, they don't always portray it every time in the cartoon. Really, you don't like see it all the time. Like, you might assume it's a like a loving relationship between the Batman cartoon, or at least just a relationship,
Yeah.
But then you can, like, in some instances in the cartoon, it gets really dark.
Oh no, he
to where
definitely
you could see that it's abusive.
he definitely abuses her, and I think he thinks she's a toy because that's just.
Yeah, she would. Yeah, she would definitely be. She would definitely be his toy.
But he met her in Arkham Asylum because she used to be a nurse. I think we've been through this
Yeah,
before.
she was a psychologist.
Yeah, so he is a genius psychopath that basically turned a psychologist into loving him. Basically.
Yeah, and being obsessed with them. Yeah.
And it's weird. It's a weird. That's weird. Just think about that for a moment, and then think about how fucking malicious and genius that is. That's the Joker. That's how evil he is, and he doesn't care. And then that's why he just keeps fucking with Batman because he thinks it's funny. That's the only reason I can see, and like, because he's not got a superpower or anything.
No, neither does Batman.
Right, and that's what I think. That's what makes him like different than like superheroes. Right, they're not really superheroes. Like, if that makes sense.
Some of the villains in Batman have like more kind of superpowers, I guess.
Right, no, but I just mean the Joker and Batman, who are the oldest rivals. I think he's one of Batman's oldest rivals. He is.
He
like
is one of the oldest rivals.
He's
I'm
like
not sure
the opposite.
If he's the oldest.
He's like the
I'm not
opposite
sure.
of Batman, right? He just wants to cause chaos, and Batman wants to fix everything. It's weird. Anyway, so yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll get back to that.
Back to there.
So Phillips told VF, there are articles written about why comedians don't work anymore. I'll tell you why. Because all the effing funny guys are like, F this shit because I don't want to offend you.
Yeah.
Phillips was apparently afraid of the hordes of comedy haters currently active on social media. He continued, it's hard to argue with 30 million people on Twitter. You just can't do it, right? So you just go, I'm out. And you know what? With all my comedians, I think that's what comedians in general all have in common. Is they're irrelevant. So I go, how do I do something irrelevant but F comedy? Oh, I know. Let's take a comic book movie universe and turn it on its head with this. And so that's really where that came from. Despite his resistance to poking the Twitter masses with irrelevance that can only be perceived as offensive, Phillips and his film have courted more controversy than any of his previous features. Since the film debuted at Venice, every big win, including a surprise Golden Lion and a rapid entry into the awards conversation, has been met with increased scrutiny and outrage worries, including warnings from U.S. military to be on the lookout for incel violence. So weird.
It's like
at screenings, it is premiered that closed its red carpet to interviewing press. At least they ask questions so tough they can't make talent walk away instead of answering.
No, that's not what's happening.
That's
you
not
fucking
why.
Idiots.
It's because the press were like saying all this BS about it, so they
so
were like, fine, you can't come. Yeah. That's how it was.
Yeah.
So they're lying here, but
like I've seen what was it? Oh, I've seen interviews where he's walked out. He's like, nah, fuck, that's fucking stupid. I'm walking out. Like questions like, well, are you happy that your movie might cause mass shootings? It's like, what type of fucking question is that to ask an actor? Like, what? Like, the cunts aren't even reality. Like,
that's because that's one of the things that give you this like feeling though that they're wanting it to happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, Jesus, people. Joker is hardly the first big leap for Phillips, and the filmmaker told IndieWire back in 2016 he was confused about the commentary surrounding his then latest project, the darker skewing fact-based tale War Dogs. At the time, Phillips said, I remember when I did documentaries and I started doing narrative films, and people would go, "How did you make that leap?" I would go, "It's all storytelling. It's the same process. I just don't see it as that big of a leap."
Now, yeah, what was War Dogs? Was
I don't
that
think I've
not?
seen War Dogs.
Was that not a? Oh, trying to think. I think. Yeah. So basically, it's a comedy, and what these guys do. This is a good movie, by the way. Basically, what these guys do is they start selling weapons in Iraq, right? And they bid on US military contracts to fulfill, like the US military maybe wants so many types of guns, right? So they bet on the contract, but they bet them low, so they get it, and then they figure out how to get the guns later. Like, that's the whole point, right? Like, so they don't know where to get the guns, but they just tell the US military, yeah, we can get this deal. It'll cost you this much, and they bet really low so that they get the contract, and then they find out that they've maybe betted too low, and they can't get the weapons to that place. So they have to actually go to Iraq to smuggle the guns in themselves, right? That's the whole movie. That's the whole point, right? So they fuck it up, try and cover the costs. They can't, so they have to do the gun running themselves, and that's basically the whole movie. So they train up and start making. Well, the whole movie is that it starts on wee things that the military want that they can actually get, and then at one point, they fuck up, and they say, "Oh, we can get this for this amount." The US military goes, "Okay," and then they find out that they can't, and that's the whole premise of the whole. It's because they're dafties, right?
Yeah, that's pretty funny. That sounds pretty funny.
So they take on a bigger thing than they can fulfill, and then they have to go to Iraq to smuggle in the guns on their own, and they're kind of like just Americans trying to smuggle guns. They have no idea what they're doing, and they get themselves in trouble. Basically, that's basically the point. That's the whole comedy of the movie. It's like these two idiots don't know what the fuck they're doing, and they're going into a war zone. So, and then it kind of just follows them doing stupid shit and fucking it up.
That's funny. Maybe I'll have to see that at some point. I hadn't seen it though.
I think it's
I'm gonna
on
finish
Netflix.
up this paragraph before I go though, to do my stuff.
Yeah.
Even that supposed leap wasn't too big. However, and Phillips himself pointed to the shared themes between War Dogs and the Hangover trilogy, a narrative obsession that seems to have carried over to Joker, regardless of genre constraints. It's a movie about guys making bad decisions that lead to mayhem, which is really what all my movies are about, the filmmaker said. Oddly, it's almost too similar to me. I love chaos, so bad decisions lead to mayhem equals chaos, and I just love chaos. I love it in my own life. I love it in movies. I love documenting it in movies. That, at least, has not changed. Warner Brothers will release Jokers in theaters Friday, October 4th.
Yeah. So, yeah, no, he's right. That is basically what his movies are about, actually. When I think about War Dogs, that's exactly what it was. The Hangover trilogy, exactly what it was. Idiots doing shit, and it just leads to total chaos because they got high or whatever in Vegas, and then they ended up just doing mad stuff, and then not knowing where their shit was at when they woke up, and not knowing what they did, and then finding out that they're in this weird chaos thing, that they stole drugs and stuff or whatever it was, and like they have to try and figure it out, right? That's all these movies. So War Dogs is kind of like that. The Hangover trilogy is like that, and so I see what he's saying. And the Joker is chaos. Like, that's exactly what he does. That's all he does. He just creates chaos by being an evil little shit. Anyway, we'll say by to YouTube, go to aerithradio.co.uk for the rest of the show, and you can say goodbye to everyone before you go as well.
Yep. Bye, everybody.
There you